All right, well, I don't expect a whole lot, but I was digging a 12, 13, 12, 12 nickel tone, and I've got a bottle down there, and my probe is telling me that it's going off right there, so maybe it's the cap of the bottle, but I'm really interested to see what this bottle looks like. So we'll see. I'll start the video up in a few minutes after I dig the sucker out. Well, I found what was giving me the low tone, and the bottle unfortunately is broken. What a bummer. But that is a great looking classic Coca-Cola bottle. Would have loved to have had that been complete. Wow. And ironically, we're in New Bern, which is the birthplace of Pepsi Cola. Cool. Well, I just detected a lot of this little area right here. Even a little bit more in the big tree area. And I guess it's part of the New Bern Housing Authority area. And I thought, well, these are old, probably 1930s, 40s. Thought there might be some good stuff in there. So I went through real slow. It's major trashy. I mean, major trashy in the ground. But I started digging, and I was digging a lot of tones. There ended up being high tones, but they ended up being pennies, and nothing old. I mean, I was digging. Some of the things were like 5-6 inches down, and nothing old. I was amazed. I was really amazed, and then I started focusing more on high tones, or just the high tones. I started getting. These are like all quarter, half-dollar tones. I started digging a lot of this stuff, and then I started throwing them away. So I got a lot of that stuff in there. But what makes me wonder about this place is this. Because I started to dig, being very selective, and started digging high tones. And there were a lot of quarters in the ground. And so I started focusing more on those high tones, looking for what I would consider a silver tone. And because I started digging a lot of things I thought might be wheat pennies. And I don't know if it's the ground here and the sand, but they were making everything come up really, like these were coming up high, almost like they were coming up like dimes. So I was digging a lot of those. I started digging a little bit deeper tones, thinking they might be a wheat penny. They were still memorial pennies. So no wheat pennies from here, a lot of quarters. When I start hitting a lot of quarters in a place, that usually tells me that the place hasn't been touched in a long time, or never touched really, because there's so many quarters. I could have just kept digging quarters and quarters and quarters, but yeah, that's the same way it was the other day when I was in here. I was thinking this is going to be a really good spot. I started doing it across the street, and I think I pulled maybe $2 in quarters just in this little area right here. And so yeah, it's just a bummer. So now I'm on my way to go see if I can find a curbside somewhere that might give me a little bit more age. Bummer. I got a weedie. I'm detecting in Mount Olive, where Mount Olive pickles come from. And I'm at an old school here in town. And I walked around a little bit in the back, found some quarters, nothing old. This is the first old thing I found. I'm just doing a quick stop, doing a little road trip, metal detecting Oregon and beyond, hitting places across the country. But I definitely would love to come back here, but we are on the road. Well, I'm not having much luck. And decided I was over at the there's a dog park over here. I decided to walk around the outside since there's dogs on the inside, and I decided to check out another park which seems to be maybe newer, and I decided maybe I'll walk along this little strip here. I don't know, it's got a fence here. It says keep out, but it doesn't look like it borders anybody's property. And there's all these old houses on that side, so I'm just gonna do a quick walk up and back and see if I can pick out anything. There's a lot of pop cans, shallow. You can usually find out which ones those are. This was a high tone, but coming in a little deeper. So only maybe about 4 inches, but it was coming up $50. Oh, well, can't see what that is. What it says on the back. I'll try and look at that later. Well, I was glad I found something to turn my camera on, because I want to say here I am in Mount Olive. And today I had gone to, this is my 4th school that I had gone to, and I do what's called, it's a couple things. Since I can't tell the age of the school, I always like to look for the smokestacks. I like smokestacks. These represent some of the older schools. I usually look at some of the fencing, but the fencing over here is different than back home. They still have the round pipe here instead of the eye brace pipes for the older fences back home in Oregon. But one thing I was glad I found something. I think it's silver. I see a rim down there. But I wanted to say that they actually have dirt. This is like the first place I've gone to in all of North Carolina that actually has like dirt instead of just sand. It might be a mix of sand and dirt, but let's see what we got here. Mercury. It's a mercury. So what I usually do, because there could be more in there, maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, what I usually do with this place when I don't have much time, because the sun's going down, I got to get going. I don't want to be driving on these back roads here because they have no lights on them, and I don't see well at night. But what I do is I usually take like a half hour, and we do what's called a walkthrough, or what I used to call it as a walkthrough. And I'd find certain areas around the school, and I would just basically go kind of fast through it, and I would sort of cherry pick a little bit, looking for deeper targets and seeing if I could pick up a wheat penny or two or something like that. Anything old. And then if I found something old, then I could take my time. But 3 schools I went to earlier today, I was able to walk through a couple of them pretty good through the field and stuff. They were bone silent, just nothing. So half hour there, move on. And but this is my second time to this Mount Olive school, and the first time I came I only had a few minutes, so I did this little area right here. Didn't find much, but found some quarters, nothing old. I found a wheat penny on my way out on the other side, and but I know that this school is old, and I know this school is old, so I know that there's old coins here, but it's been pretty well picked through. I've kind of did a walkthrough, very quiet, some iffy targets, just trash, but got this one. Let's see what year we got. Nice, 1926. I don't see a mint mark on it. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going. It's getting dark. Like I said, I gotta get going. I'm basically gonna meander around a little bit, zigzag this, and go on out. It'll be another year before I pass this school, so I'm moving on to other towns and other places.